What is going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is LLB and today I'm going to show you guys how to make your beats hit a lot harder. Now, I've been in the same seat as you, as where you finish a beat, you've got all the drums sounding as hard as you want them to, you know, you've got the melody sounding right, you export it and it just sounds squashed, you have to compress it to stop the beat from clipping and yada yada yada. Don't worry, I've got a perfect solution for you guys. It's one plugin, it's a stock plugin. I'm going to show you exactly how I'd go about doing it. I've been doing it for the last few months and it's worked a massive treat on my beats. So stick around to the end, don't miss any steps. You might not get the same results that I'm going to get in the video that I'm about to show you. Okay, so we're going to dive into it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss out on another upload. And yeah, let's just get to my computer. Okay, so I've pulled up this beat that I've just started making this morning, so I'm just going to play you like the first 30 seconds of it just so you can hear it.
Yes.
Okay, now that's the beat, solid beat and everything like that, but the problem is when you listen to it in FL Studio, it does sound kind of okay, you know, you get the drums sounding punchy, everything sounds how you want it to. However, when it comes to exporting it, it's going to sound clipped, it's going to sound distorted, and the reason why is because if you come over to the mixer and check the master level, so looking at this knob here, you see it on here as well, when you play the beat, the levels come way above 0 dB. Okay, now for those of you that don't know, if a beat comes above 0 dB, that means that it's going to clip and it's going to distort and it's going to kill the quality. Okay, so when you export a beat and it doesn't sound close to as good as what it did in FL Studio, then that is the reason why. So it's super important that you keep the beat below 0 dB at all times. Like, avoid going above 0 dB at all costs. That's just a rule of thumb. Okay, now there's a few ways of doing this. You can add a limiter to the master track, which is basically just going to stop any sound that goes above 0 dB from going above it, and what that will do is crush the kick, crush the 808 and just make the whole beat sound like it's been squashed together, which is not good. So you have to figure out a way of finding a balance between making it sound loud and making it sound punchy, and the best way to do this is by using a stock plugin in FL Studio, believe it or not. And this stock plugin is called Soft Clipper, Fruity Soft Clipper. So if you come over to the mixer and just check your effects, it should be in there. If it's not in there, head over to the more section, and if it's not checked, then just make sure that it's checked. Where is it on here? It's there. So mine's checked, make sure that that is clicked and you'll have it in there. Okay, now there's a couple of things that you need to do before you add the soft clipper to the beat. Or you need to make sure that you've got everything put into the mixer and just make sure it's a little bit organized. Once you've done that, leave everything. Don't touch any of these mixer knobs, don't touch anything like that. Just leave everything how it is. What you do need to do is make sure that you've got everything sounding as close to how you want it before you put everything into the mixer. So, you know, when you've made the beat, you'll do this naturally when you're making the beat, but when you've made the beat, just make sure that the kick's nice and loud, the claps are sitting nicely, the melody's sitting where it wants to be in the beat, and you'll naturally do that when you make the beat. But make sure you do that and then put all of the sounds into the mixer like I've just showed you how to do now. And then once you've done that, it's simply a matter of just adding the soft clipper. Now it's really important that you add the soft clipper on the master track and then you add it on the last insert of the mixer. Because this basically needs to be the last process on the beat before you export it, okay? And if you put it here and then start adding different effects down here, it's not going to sound as good. So make sure that you've got it on the last insert, add the soft clipper, and leave it. Do not touch this threshold knob and don't touch the post gain knob. Just leave it. And I'll explain why you need to leave this in a second. But basically, when we now go and play this beat, you can see now that it's been limited to 0 dB. To a very high extent, it's kept the dynamics. The kick still sounds punchy, the percussion still cuts through the mix how I want it to. And yeah, it's literally as simple as that. Now, if you do add the soft clipper and you don't get as good a quality sound as me, the reason why is either because the sounds are way too loud before you put them in the mixer, or the sounds are a bit too quiet and it hasn't really done anything to the beat. Okay, now the way you get around that is literally just by going in and adjusting these levels. You know, if this kick was coming through too hard, just knock it down a little bit, knock the clap down, just knock any sound that you think doesn't sound right to you and just adjust it. But make sure that you just got that soft clipper on the master channel and just leave it. I do want to go a little bit more in depth about some of the extra steps that I'll do to the percussion, the kicks, the 808s and the claps and stuff like that. But I want to keep this simple. I want you guys to start just trying out the soft clipper initially. I'm going to sort of make a few more tutorials over the next couple of videos. And I'll show you a quick before and after of the beat without the soft clipper and a beat with the soft clipper.
This. This.
Okay, and it's literally as simple as that. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, it's not made that much difference, but another really important thing to look at as well is the finished product. So like let me show you an example of the difference between a really high quality professional sounding beat and one that's not been mixed properly. And let me just show you. It's more of a visual representation. So what I'm going to show you here is one of my more recent beats, and this is a beat where I used a soft clipper on the master. So as you can see, if you look at the beat itself, it looks really thick. So the body of the beat here is really thick, it's really filled out, and that's really what you want, because that's sort of the thing that gives it the loudness and the fullness to the beat. Okay, now if you see the little peaks that come at the top, that's where the dynamics are. So that's where the kick's gonna sit, that's where the clap's gonna sit, and you need to get that balance quite perfect. You don't want it to be fully filled out, because it's just gonna sound squashed, but you don't want the dynamics to be too large, because that's just gonna hurt the listener's ear. I'm gonna show you an old beat that I made without using the soft clipper. This is before I even knew to put this on the master. See, so as you can see, like if you look at the body of the beat, it's nowhere near as thick as it is in here, and the peaks are way too loud, so it's just going to hurt the listener's ear. And that's like super important as well. So like not only are you making the beat, not only are you preventing the beat from clipping, you're also thickening out the beat and sort of bringing it all together nicely without losing the dynamics. And that's really important, because when you compress and you limit and you don't do it properly, you just kill the sound. You may get the same sort of visual as this wave stem, but the kick's just going to sound muddy, it's going to sound squashed, the claps aren't going to hit as nicely as you want them to. But just give it a go, do persevere with it, because it does work. Like I know a lot of these tutorials that you see, and I was the same, you watch a tutorial, they do it on their beat, it sounds like magic, and then you try it on your beat and it sounds terrible. But trust me, this really does work. Make sure you're using the right sound selections as well, so make sure you're using some good sounds. I'll drop a few links to some really good drum kits in the description that I run through my website, so jump on those if you want to. But make sure you're using good sounds, make sure you persevere with this soft clipper, and I promise you will get better results. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you found a bit of value from this video, make sure you have subscribed to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss out on another tutorial, because I'm going to continue with this mixing series. I'm going to make this into a few videos where I can sort of really explain each element as best I can. And yeah, that'll be all for today. I will see you next time.